Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Guru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankara Acharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishwaro Guru Ratmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavatyapta Dehaya Dakshina Namaha. Shri Medha Dakshina Mukti Swamine Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Bhadram Karneभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So Namaste once again everyone.
Guruji.
Namaskaram Guruji. Namaste Guruji.
Namaste. So we are in the 7th mantra of the second section of the first Mundaka. Okay. We will chant the mantra. We started it last class. We'll chant the mantra and then proceed. Okay. Plavahete Adrida Yajnarupaha Ashtadashoktamavaram Yeshu Karma Etat Shreyo Ye Binandanti Mudaha Jara Mrityam Te Punarevapi Yanti. Good. So the Upanishad in these mantras is presenting the pros and cons of the Aparavidya route and the Paravidya route as the means for moksha. And first taking up the topic of Aparavidya, and after presenting some positive aspects of Aparavidya, the Upanishad from this mantra till the 12th mantra of this section points out the drawbacks or limitations of Aparavidya route for the attainment of the ultimate goal of moksha. So this mantra starts the ninda, criticism of the Aparavidya route by pointing out that Aparavidya involves mainly three factors: karma, karaka, and phalam. Action, accessories for action, and the result of action. And the Upanishad wants to point out that since all three of them have limitations in the form of being finite in nature, they cannot deliver the infinite result of moksha. So, the first line of the mantra, Plavahete adrida yajna rupa hai, ashtadashoktam avaram yeshu karma, highlights the perishable nature of all these three factors. The line of thinking presented here is that the accessories, the karakas, are perishable. Therefore, karma will be perishable, and because of which karma phala will also be perishable. And this is the fact which is stated in the first line and which we have seen in the last class. And this fact can be discovered with the help of Shastra, with the help of observation, with the help of logic also. But still, there are some people who ignore this logic, who do not see this logic, and they consider karma to be the ultimate. They consider karma to be the means for moksha because they think that karma will take us to heaven and heaven is immortality. That is their definition of moksha. In fact, that definition is prevalent in almost 90% of the population. Those who do not have exposure to Vedanta, they all believe moksha means after death going to heaven. Vaikuntha or Kailasa, whatever it is, somewhere that is moksha. So therefore, they feel that by doing all these karmas, by going to the temple, doing pujas, all these karmas, even the reaching out karmas, like various dhanams, annadanam, charity, etc. If they do, they feel that they will get immortality, they will get moksha. So therefore, for them, karma is the means for immortality. And these people are given a title here. Mooda hai, deluded people. In the second line of the mantra, if you see. So such deluded people remain in the cycle of birth and death. They attain old age, death, birth again and again and again. And this is the idea which is given in the second lines, the next sentence. That is the third quarter of the mantra. Etattu shreyah ye abhinandanti mooda hai. Ye mooda hai, those deluded people. Etat shreyah. Etat means this, and this refers to karmas. So these deluded people think that this karma is shreya, is the means for moksha. And in this manner, these moodaha, abhinandanti, means they are rejoicing, they are glorifying, they are happily declaring that karma is the means for moksha. So those who are moodaha, who are declaring that this karma itself is the means for moksha, those people, jara mrityum yanti. Yanti means they attain. Jara mrityum, old age and death. Punaha eva api means again and again. Eva means indeed. So here punaha eva we have to understand as repetitively. So they indeed attain this old age and death repeatedly. And here the old age and death are described to show the miserable part of samsara. Because if you actually observe even in our own life, personal lives, everyone welcomes janma, isn't it? Birth. People rejoice when a child is born. party, cake, everything, I mean, there's a big joy when the child is born. Seldom they realize that one more member is getting added to the struggle in the ocean of samsara. And during the early years, till say you are about 40, 45, one is healthy and active, everything seems to be well and nice. But when the old age comes, the real miserable part of samsara becomes active, and all physical and emotional problems start surfacing. And along with the old age, the fear of the unknown, yet certain phenomena called death takes over. So Jara, old age is there, followed by Mrityu, death. And that is not the end. Punarapi Jananam happens to go through the samsara chakra once again. So as I said, it's a repetitive story rather. And such people who believe the karma to be Shreya, moksha sadhana, they glorify karma. And such people, the Upanishad says, are destined to be born again and again and again in this miserable world. World full of dukkha, dukkha mishritvam, you can say. Now the word Shreya has got several meanings. One meaning of Shreya is moksha. And it is also used in the sense of moksha sadhana. In fact, we see in Kathopanishad, Shreyascha preyascha manushyametah tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha. That's what Kathopanishad says. So samparitya vivinakti dhiraha means having analyzed. Samparitya means pariksha lokan, which will come later in the 12th mantra. Having analyzed both Shreya and Preya very well, samyak paritya, samyak pariksha kritya, vivinakti, they separate these two. So there also the word Shreya has got the meaning of moksha sadhana. So here also people who are considering karma to be the means for moksha, they are called muda, deluded people. They have not done that samparitya. They have not analyzed the nature of karma, the nature of jnanam and all that. They have not actually come to jnana kanda at all. They just stopped. Many of us, at olden times, first of all, most of our, parents or even grandparents, they stopped at SSLC or what they used to call, the high school. Very few, if at all, went to undergraduate, BA, BSc and all. But even if they've done that, they would stop there. They will not go to further MA, MSc and all. PhD was very rare phenomenon. So similarly, these people, they have gone through karma kanda and all. They have come across all these things, karma kanda. You can go to Swarga if you perform all the karmas. There's the Agnihotra, the karmas and all, and then you will go to Swarga, and for them going to Swarga is moksha. So those people, muda, deluded people. And Puja Swamiji here very beautifully says, because the word muda has got another meaning also, a general meaning, but fools. But Puja Swamiji says that is not the context. In this context, we should not translate muda as few fools. Why? Because these people are not ordinary people. They have studied the Shastras. They have studied Veda Purva Bhaga very well. They know how to do the karmas properly. And therefore, they are not totally ignorant of everything. It is not that they are fools with reference to everything. In fact, Puja Swamiji used to go one step ahead and say, there is no fool in the world. Because he said, when people say a person is an idiot, for a very long time, the Westerners considered those of us who eat with our hands as fools and idiots. And they never realized the value of that. So Puja Swamiji says that we cannot brand or judge any person. We should not be judgmental. So these people who are talked about in the Upanishad also, they are not fools with reference to everything. They have lot of knowledge. But in some area, these people are deluded, confused. They do not know the right means. In the area of Nitya, Anitya, they are deluded. So, Muda here, we should translate as Avivekinaha. So, we have to be very careful. Normally, we'll say Muda means fools and all that. That is not the way Upanishad wants to present them. Even if the Upanishad wants to point out certain limitations, it does it in a very positive manner. So the word Muda has to be understood in this manner. And such people consider this karma alone to be the means for moksha, and therefore they remain busy with that. Karma governs their life. They don't come to Jnanam at all. They don't come to Upanishads or Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, they remain in samsara. And samsara is presented here by the word attainment of Jara Mrityu. Yanti, attain. Jara Mrityum te punah eva api yanti. So in this mantra, it is said that karmas require karakas, and the karakas are fragile, and therefore karma is fragile. Therefore, karma phala is also fragile and perishable. And therefore, those who consider karma to be the means for moksha, they are deluded in that particular area. And such people remain in samsara. They suffer all the problems of old age and death. They are born again and again to undergo all the miseries of samsara once again. This is the summary of the mantra. Now we will discuss the bhashya. Okay. We will first read the bhashyam as usual. All of you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Guru.
Plavaha
Plavaha
vinashinaha
Vinashinaha
ityartaha
Ityarthaha
hi yasmad
Yasmat
ete adridah
Ete Adrudaha
astirah
Astiraha
yajna rupah
Yajnarupaha
yajnasya rupani
Yajnasya Rupani
yajna rupah
Yajnarupaha
yajna nirvartakah
Yajnarvartaha
अष्टादश
Ashtadasha
अष्टादश संख्यकाः
Ashtadashasankhyaha
षोडश ऋद्विजः
षोडशऋद्विजः
पत्नी
पत्नी
यजमानश्चेति
यजमानस्येते
अष्टादश
अष्टादश
एतदाश्रयम्
एतदाश्रयम्
कर्म उक्तम्
कर्म उक्तम्
कथितम्
कथितम्
शास्त्रेण
शास्त्रेण
येषु अष्टादशसु
येषु अष्टादशसु
अवरम्
वरम्
केवलं ज्ञानवर्जितं कर्म
केवलं ज्ञानवर्जितं कर्म
अतः
अतः
तेषाम् अवरकर्म
तेषाम् अवरकर्म
आश्रयाणाम्
आश्रयाणाम्
अष्टादशानाम्
अष्टादशानाम्
अदृढतया
अदृढतया
प्लवत्वात्
प्लवत्वात्
प्लवते
प्लवते
सह फलेन
सह बलेन
तत्साध्यं कर्म
तत्साध्यं कर्म
कुण्डविनाशाद् इव
कुण्डविनाशादेव
क्षीरदद्यादीनां
क्षीरदत्तादीनाम्
तत्स्थानां नाशः
नाशः
यत एवं
यत एवम्
एतत् कर्म श्रेयः
एतत् कर्म श्रेयः
श्रेयः कारणम् इति
श्रेयः कारणमिति
ये अभिनन्दन्ति
ये अभिनन्दन्ति
अभिहृष्यन्ति
अभिष्यन्ति
अविवेकिनः मूढाः
अविवेकिनः मूढाः
अतः ते
हते
जरां च मृत्युं च जरामृत्युं
जरामृत्युम्
किञ्चित् कालं
किञ्चित् कालम्
स्वर्गे स्थित्वा
स्वर्गे स्थित्वा
पुनरेवापि यन्ति
पुनरेवापि यन्ति
भूयोऽपि गच्छन्ति
भूयोऽपि गच्छन्ति
Very good. So the first sentence is Plavaha Vinashinaha Ityartaha. The word Plavaha, we have seen in the Moolam, is from the verbal root plu. Plu literally means to go. But it is not ordinary going. It is actually going by jumping and leaping, you know. A float or a raft or a boat, a small ship made out of fragile wooden pieces is also called a plava. So here Bhashyakara says plavaha means vinashinaha, perishable. Vinashinaha means perishable. Because the floats or rafts stand for perishability. The very nature is they are good for some time only, eventually they will perish. They are made of wood and they are always constantly in the water. So the wood will get, disintegrated by constant touch with water. So here the word plavaha, or can say raft or boat, is used to indicate that they are perishable. So in this context, plavaha means plavatulyaha, comparable to fragile rafts or fragile boats. And what are those which are comparable to these perishable fragile boats? Later we are going to see the 18 factors. Bhashyakara will explain what those 18 factors are. Then in next sentence, Bhashyakara says, He yasmat ete adridaha astiraha yajna rupaha yajnasya rupani yajna rupaha yajna nirvartakaha ashtadasha अष्टादश संख्याकाः षोडश ऋद्विजः पत्नी यजमानश्चेति अष्टादश. So it's explaining what is the words he, ete, adrida, yajna, rupa, ashtadasha mean in the Upanishad. So in the Moolam he is there. He gives the meaning as yasmat. Yasmat means therefore. Therefore means wherefore. Therefore means because these karmas are fragile, adrida hai, like the fragile raft or boat. Therefore, ete adrida hai, astira hai. Ete adrida hai means, ete adrida is there in the Moolam. And he says adrida hai is equal to astira hai. Astira hai means impermanent. Ashashwatam is called astiram. And therefore only they are vinashina. So yasmat adrida hai, tasmat vinashina hai. That's how we can connect the two. So since they are impermanent and fragile, they are perishable. So adrida hai we can translate as fragile, as we have already done. And you can use the word translation impermanent for the word plavaha. So adrida plavaha means impermanent or fragile and impermanent and therefore perishable. Like that we can understand the meaning. And who are they? What are these things which are perishable in the context of aparavidya? The mantra says yajna rupaha, which is there in the Moolam. Bhashyakara explains that yajnasya rupani yajna rupaha. And what is the meaning of the word rupani or rupaha? He says yajna nirvartakaha. So in this context, the word rupam means constituent factors which go to the production of karma. Rupam here means constituent factors with the help of which alone karma can be performed. Nirvartakaha means the producers of karma, the causal factors of karma. And what are they? Upanishad says Ashtadasha, 18 factors. Now, when we read 18 factors, we will start counting. And in fact, we will miss some of them. Because there are so many things. When you are performing an yajna, you require so many things. Very, very difficult to even list out all of them, rather. Everything you will list out, finally you will forget a matchbox which is required to light the homa. I mean, in today's context, I'm saying earlier they were not using matchbox and all, but in today's context, that one small thing we will miss out. And last at the time when the homa kunda has to be, put fire in that, suddenly we will be searching for a matchbox here and there. So Bhashyakara doesn't want to go into all those kind of details and he makes it very, very simple. He says, Ashtadasha Sankhya hai. What are they? He says, Shodasha Ridvijaha Patni Yajamanas Cheti Ashtadasha. Very simply, he finishes, he counts 18 people. Ashtadasha Sankhya means 18 numbers. Ashtadasha, as we all know, is 18. So the Yajna Nirvartakaha are 18 in number. What are those 18? Shodasha Ridvijaha. 16 priests. We have seen earlier how priests from all the 4 Vedas are organized for any medium or large yajnas, isn't it? We saw that most of the Vaidika karmas, especially bigger rituals, we require 18 people to perform the ritual. Ashtadasha Ritvijaha, Ashtadasha Yagya Rupa, 18 accessories, taking only the people involved, not the material accessories. We have to understand that apart from that, other materials are required. But since the Upanishad is mentioning a number, Ashtadasha, we have to understand from what angle Upanishad is saying that. Otherwise, Upanishad can say Aneka Yagya Rupa. So, countless things it can say. But it is specifically mentioning Ashtadasha. So, but we have to understand Ashtadasha accessories or factors in addition to the various other materials. 18 people are required. So, who are those 18 people? 4 priests associated with Rigveda. 4 Rigveda priests are required. And we saw the group of 4 priests are called what? Hotraganaha. Hota. Hota is a Rigveda priest. So Hotra Ganaha means a group of 4 Rigveda priests. Similarly, we have got Advaryu Ganaha, a group of 4 Yajurveda priests. Then Udgatra Ganaha, a group of 4 Samaveda priests. And the 4th group is called what? Brahma Ganaha, the group of 4 Atharvana Veda priests. So 4 into 4, 16. 16 priests are required. Is that enough? No. 2 most important VIPs are required for performance of any yajna. Who are they? First, the Yajamana is required. The ritualist who is going to perform the ritual and get the benefit of going to Swarga. Because Swarga, the priests, they will not get Swarga. Priests will get Swarga only if they are also doing all the yajnas as per the Shastra. But for the yajna which the Yajamana performs, the reason he is performing the yajna is he wants to go to Swarga. The only benefit for the priest is Dakshina. Okay. So Yajamana Karma Phalam is Swarga. Ritvik Karma Phalam is Dakshin. So for them, Dakshina is the benefit. So this is one important person, Yajamana. And the second important person required, as we have already seen, is the wife of the Yajamana. Yajamana Patni. Because a Yajamana cannot give Dakshina to the priest, and priest will not accept the Dakshina unless that Dakshina is blessed by the Patni. Unless the Patni gives permission. Very important point of role of women in our Shastra. I mean, she is actually, who is the person normally in any organization? If you want to do something, you make an application. Who is the person who is going to give you the permission? That person must be superior in status to you. He must be the boss. You get the boss's permission and then you do the thing. Similarly, in the context of these yajnas, for giving the salary or whatever it is, the dakshina to the priest, the Yajamana has to take the permission of the wife. And that ensures 2 things. One is the wife is equally involved in the whole process. In fact, she has even got a right which of course normally they don't exercise, of actually reducing the dakshina for certain priests if she has observed that those priests have been most of the time on their cell phone and they have not done the yajna properly. She has that right. Shastra gives her that right. But of course, because of, we don't normally insist on all those things. And how this permission is actually demonstrated or expressed. Many of us who do the pujas, and by inviting the priests, would have observed. Even Shraddha Karma, we would have observed. While giving Dakshina, the wife has to sprinkle a little water. And the Yajamanas chants, Hiranyagarbhagarbhastam Hema Bijam Vibhavasoho, etc. So the wife is called specifically to sprinkle that water to make that dakshina pavitram, purity, purify the dakshina. And through that process, she is also giving her consent for the dakshina being given to the priest. So the sprinkling of water is the symbolic gesture for giving permission and also for purifying the dakshina. Because we know, without Lakshmi's permission, even Vishnu cannot do anything. We must all realize this fact. Many people think, many men think that they can do without that. But Shastra doesn't permit. Practically also it doesn't permit rather. So that's 16 plus 2, 18. Yajna Rupa hai. And here we can observe how much respect Bhashyakara has got for women. He says, Shodasha Ridvijaha Patni Yajamanascha. So first he is putting Patni first, giving more importance to Patni. And he does not also say Yajamanascha Patni. He could have said Shodasha Ridvijaha Yajamanascha Patni. Yajamanaha Cha Patni, he could have said. So he puts Patni next in the order of importance after the 16 priests. And last only Yajamanascha. See, when we are studying the Bhashyam, these are all very subtle points we have to observe. To understand the mind of Bhashyakara, high respect. This is what his bhakti means. He reveres everybody rather. That's a reverential attitude towards everything rather. So these are the 18 factors. So as I said, we have to note that these 18 factors are mentioned here does not mean only those 18 factors are involved in a yajna. They are only representative. Many more are required, countless, as I said, so many things are required. 18 is just the number of people required. Yajna Kunda is required, other things, So Ashtadasha, 18 factors are just the people, representative of all things that are required for performance of yajna. And what are these factors called? We have seen Karakam. So the Karakam aspect has been dealt with. Next is what? The action part of the ritual. So Bhashyakara says, Etat ashrayam karma uktam katitam shastrena yeshu ashtadashasu avaram kevalam jnanavarjitam karma. So he is now slowly bringing in the subject of comparison between Aparavidya and Paravidya. So etat ashrayam karma. So all the Vedic rituals are based upon or dependent upon these 18-fold karakas. Etad refers to all the karakas which are required for Vedic rituals. And the karmas, the rituals are ashrayam, dependent on these karakas. And this is said in the Shastra. And if you ask, where did you get such a relationship between karma and karaka? The mantra says, Uktam. Bhashyakara explains, Katitham Shastrena. So this karma, which is based on these 18 factors or innumerable karakas, is mentioned in the Shastra. Katitam means told, mentioned, spoken of, talked about. Shastrena, by the Shastra. So the Shastra itself mentions that this karma, the Vedic rituals, are dependent upon 18 factors. Does it mean all Vedic karmas like Upasana are also dependent on these karakas? Answer is no. That is why Bhashyakara is clarifying, Yeshu Ashtadashashu Avaram Kevalam Jnanavarjitam Karma. Yeshu Ashtadashasu, upon these 18 karakas alone, Avaram. Avaram, he says, is equal to Kevalam Jnanavarjitam Karma. So the word Avaram is there in the Moolam. Actually, the word Avaram means inferior. And here in this context, it means Kevalam. Kevalam means alone, unsupported. Unsupported by what? He says, unsupported by Jnanam, by Upasana, by meditation. So Jnana Varjitam, we have to understand Jnana here is not Satchidananda, that Jnanam, Atma Jnanam. Here Jnanam means Upasana, meditation. We have already seen that when we saw the Moolam. So Jnana Varjitam means unsupported by meditation. So these karmas, unsupported by meditation, they are avaram, they are weak, inferior, unreinforced karma. And such karmas are dependent on these 18 plus karakas. You know, it is somewhat like the internet connection at large homes. The signals will not reach some parts of the home and the signals will be weak. So what people will do, they install a booster to make the signals in those places strong. Similarly, these karmas are weak. Upasana is the booster which make the weak jnana varjitam karma into stronger karma, which is jnana sahitam karma. So we have to understand like that only. So now we have moved from karaka to kriya. We have come to action. And Bhashyakara says, Ataha tesham avara karma ashrayanam ashtadashanam adridataya plavattat plavate saha phalena tat sadhyam karma. So if these 18 factors are adrida hai, plava hai, fragile and impermanent, then the ritual born out of that is also fragile and impermanent. And if the ritual is fragile and impermanent, the resultant heaven also is fragile and impermanent. Normally, by the word fragile, we understand is that which is broken easily, like a bubble, glass, etc. So here we have to understand, in the figurative sense, fragile means you cannot emotionally depend on them. They don't have the strength to give you emotional support. If you want emotional support, we have to go to Bhaja Govindam verse. Nalina dalagata jalamati taralam tadvajjivita matishaya chapalam viddhi vyadhyabhimanagrastam lokam shokahatam cha samastam. Shankaracharya says beautifully in Bhaja Govindam. The life of a person is as uncertain as a droplet of water on a lotus leaf. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam. So Nalini gata Nalini dala means lotus leaf. In that you put a drop of water, what will happen? It will slip away at any time. It will not stick to the lotus leaf. Like that, may you know that the whole world remains a prey to disease, ego, grief, and can go away at any time. All these are undependable. And therefore, fragile means they cannot give emotional support. And all this idea, Bhashyakara puts it in the word ataha, which literally means therefore. And if you again ask, therefore means wherefore, we have to bring in all these ideas about the world being undependable, fragile. One cannot depend emotionally on this world, etc. So, ataha, therefore, tesham avara karma ashrayanam ashtadashanam adridataya. So, these 18 factors are all the 18 plus factors, karakas are fragile. Tesham is equal to avara karma. Ashrayanam ashtadashanam. Those 18 factors, which are the ashraya for avara karma, for the inferior karma. Why inferior? Same idea, adridataya, being fragile. So they are fragile. Plavatvat plavate saha phalena tat sadhyam karma. Plavate means they perish. Plavatvat, like a raft or a float. Saha phalena, along with their results. So all these karmas which we do with these 18 factors, which is jnana marjitam karma, not accompanied by upasana, they will all perish along with its results. So he says tat sadhyam karma. Tat refers to the accessories which are finite, which are fragile, which are perishable. Sadhyam karma means generated by such accessories. So the karma generated by those accessories is also perishable. And if karma is perishable, the result of karma, the phalam, karma phalam is also perishable. So here, even though Bhashyakara used the word phalam, it refers to karma phalam, which is Swarga Loka for the Yajamana. So karma phalam perishes means that karma phalam is also finite and its benefit is certain to come to an end someday. So phalena saha plavate. And what is the logic involved? The logic is ashraya nashe ashrita nashaha. Karana nashe karya nashaha. And Bhashyakara explained this through an example. He says, Kunda vinashat iva Shira dadyadinam tatstanam nashaha. Kundam means any vessel or bowl, especially a wide mouthed vessel called kundam. And Shira dadyadinam means milk, curds, etc. Adi, we can include all other liquid materials like oil, which are supported by the kundam, the vessel. So the vessel is a supporter of milk, curd, oil, etc. And suppose the vessel is broken, the support is broken, the karana for the support is broken. What happens? The milk and curd also will flow out and will be wasted. Similarly, karaka nashe karma nasha hai, karma nashe phala nasha hai. That is the logic. So with the destruction of the pot or vessel, its content also get destroyed. Similarly, with the destruction of the karakas, the results also get destroyed. And Bhashyakara wants to be very careful and make it amply clear. Because he said, Kunda vinashativa kshiradadhyadinam. With the destruction of the pot or vessel, the milk, curd, etc. get destroyed. Now, where the idea that the milk and curd were the contents of the vessel, isn't it? So someone can question, how can destruction of a pot destroy milk and curd, which are not kept in the pot? I hope you understand a very subtle point. Because if the milk and curd are kept in some other pot, and one pot in which there is no milk and curd are destroyed, that pot is destroyed, not kept, it is destroyed. Then how can milk and curd be destroyed? You can ask that question. Somebody is extreme question, because we will not ask that question. No person who understands this will ask that question, but there is a possibility. And that's why Bhashyakara is clarifying Tatsthanam Nasha. Tatsthanam means Kundan Sthanam, Patra Sthanam. The milk or curd which is in the vessel, that will be destroyed. Not any milk or curd, etc. which is. So only the milk or curd in the vessel will be destroyed. So when we read all these things, the Bhashyam and all, it makes our mind also think deeply rather. We understand how Bhashyakara is thinking about all possibilities. From any corner, any, even a most, I would call it a silly question may come. But we must not ignore that. That's what happens most of the time. Especially when we are planning something, a project, or, even at home, some big function and all. We have to think through the whole process very carefully so that we don't miss out on any of these things. And if invariably it will happen in a very simple thing. My personal experience, I'm sure many of you would have experienced. There's a big function like a marriage or something in the family. We want to invite all our relatives. We will prepare a big list of relatives. Invariably, one or two relatives will be left out. So, Bhashyakara's thinking, we have to understand that he doesn't want to leave anything to chance. He does not want any of his statements to be subject to any vagueness. So, what is the message derived from this example? If the base on which anything is dependent is destroyed, the dependent thing also will be destroyed. Therefore, the karakas being fragile and perishable are subject to destruction. So the karmas which are dependent on the karakas are also subject to destruction. And the karma phala, that is Swargaloka, which is dependent on the karma, is also subject to destruction. And here, the word destruction, we have to understand very carefully. Destruction here means, in this context, time bound, limited. Means it will eventually end. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu in Bhagavad Gita. Whatever is born will have an end. So, being finite in nature, karma cannot give the result of moksha, which is infinite. That is the message. So, until now, Bhashyakara has commented upon the first two lines of the seventh mantra. Now he goes into the third and fourth line, which are Etat Shreyo Yebinandanti Mudaha Jara Mrityum Te Punareva Viyanti. In the Bhashyam, he says, Yat Evam Etat Karma Shreyah Karanam Iti. From Etat Karma up to Shreya Karanam within inverted commas. Iti ye abhinandanti, abhihrishyanti, avivekinah, moodah, atah te jaraja mrityum cha, jara mrityum, kinchit kalam swarge stitva, punarevapi yanti, bhuyopi gachanti. He says, because of this fact, what we have discussed till now, that karma cannot give moksha. And as we saw just now, for the word moksha, there are several words are used. One of them is Shreya. So, a thinking human being should conclude sooner or later that karma is not a Shreya Karanam, not a means for moksha. But instead of coming to that conclusion, if the person says or thinks karma is Shreya Karanam, then the Upanishad says such people are Moodaha. They are deluded people. And what is worse is that not only they do not recognize their Moodhatvam, but they are also proud of their thinking. And therefore, the Upanishad strongly criticizes those deluded people. So, yataha evam means, since the above mentioned fact is an eternal fact, that karma cannot give moksha. Therefore, etad is there in the Moolam. Bhashyakara says it refers to karma. And the next word is Shreya. And Bhashyakara says Shreya Karanam. So Shreya is equal to Shreya Karanam. And this sentence should be within inverted commas because this is the thinking of the Moodas. Bhashyakara is representing, or he is presenting, the thinking of those deluded people. So the Upanishad is quoting as though it is the thought pattern of the deluded people. So they think that these karmas that they are busy with, they will give them moksha. Moksha means freedom from samsara. Iti. Up to that is quotation. In this manner, iti means in this manner, in this thinking mode, ye abhinandanti. Ye refers to those people, deluded people. Abhinandanti is there in the Moolam. For that, Bhashyakara gives the meaning abhihrishyanti. Abhihrishyanti means they become happy. They will become happy. Rishyanti is future tense. They will be rejoicing at the thought that karma will give moksha. So those people happily claim, proudly claim, as though they are very intelligent. And why they are happily claiming, in spite of it being the wrong idea, an idea which any thinking person can realize, Bhashyakara says they are avivekinaha, they are indiscriminate, thoughtless people. They are living in their own make-believe world. More we will see in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Dhanyavada. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Hari Om. Namaskaram.
Hari Om.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
धन्यवादः
Wish you all a very happy Navaratri starting today.
Yes.
Thank you, Guruji. Happy
Already
Navaratri
started.
to you also, and then thank you very much for the class.
Thank you.
Pranam.
Hari Om. Pranam.
Namaskaram, Guruji. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Namaskaram. Namaskaram.
Guruji, in my book, there is a list of 16 people who are involved. So they are like Brahman, Brahmanan Shasi, Agnindraha, Prota, Udgata, Prastota, Pratiharta, Subramanya, Hota, Maitra Varunaha, Achavakaha, Gravastut, Advaryuhu, Prasthatha, Neshta, Unneta. These are the 16 people.
Yeah. That is, you are reading some from Tika or something. Bhashyam, it is not there.
Not there. No, this is from the Holenarsipura Guruji.
Which one?
Our Holenarsipura Sachidanandra Saraswati book.
Okay. So you must have included, because when you read the Tika, the commentary, they will include all these details. So for our purpose, we just explain it, same thing I have explained, 4 priests, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, and all. So it's the same thing. Tikakaras, they elaborate all these things very well. So that's fine. I mean, it's the same thing. Good. Yes, Girish ji, what is your question? Namaste. Unmute.
Oh, Hari Om, Guruji.
Hari Om.
In the journey of spirituality, actually, we have to begin with belief. Okay, we have to believe the Shastra, we have to believe the Acharya, and go on. And eventually, moksha is freedom from the samsara. Now, how do we prove that?
How do we prove?
Yeah. I mean, is it, do we able to recognize it or experience that? No, the cycle of birth and death is come to an end.
See, we have got the pramanam only in the Shastra.
Okay.
If we trust the Shastra, then this is what Shastra is, because there can be no pramanam that there is no rebirth after death, isn't it? Nobody comes back and tells, no. If he comes back, means he has not got moksha. People who have got moksha will not come back. So how will we know? So we can't negative, isn't it? So Shastra is the pramanam, and it is not one place. Upanishad after Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, everything is saying the same thing.
Okay.
So that is the pramanam, for us to say that. And so far as moksha, jivan mukti is concerned, that is something that we can actually experience while living.
Yes. Definitely.
Isn't it? So if that is what one part of what Shastra says, we can actually get a personal experience as proof, then we have to accept the other part of Shastra also, which we cannot experience rather.
Agreed. Okay.
So that is the logic we have to proceed rather, right?
Fine.
So that is the way we have to accept this, this thing. Because Jivan, we can certainly We have seen so many Jivan Muktas, isn't it?
And you have very clearly, explained the 5 different results of moksha, and that we can experience, no doubt about it.
We can
Vijnana
experience.
Prapti,
Yeah, while living itself, we can experience.
while
life.
living itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those we can experience. So,
Yes, exactly.
naturally, the next level will be Jivan Mukti.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. And Videha Mukti too.
Videha Mukti.
Agree.
Shastra also talks about Videha Mukti. So
Agree.
we can say, okay, what Shastra is saying, first part is right, means second part also has to got to be right. Because we have got that Shraddha in the Shastra rather.
Agree.
And the Shastra is saying, Guru is saying. So that's why.
And just because not only the belief, we are acknowledging it, and logically we are accepting it, and that is why we are still in the path.
Yes, because you see, Shastra's main aim is what? It is looking at human beings. And it is saying that these human beings are suffering.
Agree.
Whenever we have got a problem, what is the first thing that comes to our mind? How do I overcome this problem? Isn't it? Suppose I had a fall and I am hurt myself. What is the lesson I will learn? Okay, this time I will do some, this thing. Next time onwards, I'll be very careful not to fall again. Correct? Similarly, Shastra says these poor human beings, they are suffering in this samsara. And what they are looking towards is only Bhagavan for some help, some, guidance. So Shastra is giving the entire Vedic structure, Vedic system for us to follow. They say if you follow it right from A to Z, up to the end, Upanishads and even Shruti Granthas, if you follow, Smriti Granthas like Bhagavad Gita and all.
Yeah.
What roadmap you follow, you will be free from all these problems. And one of the main reasons the problems keep on recurring is this Punarapi Janmam. So Shastra says even from that you will get mukti. And how you will get mukti? Not because of any other reason. The moment you become a jnani, all your karmas are completely, deleted. Control all, delete karma account. No karma, no janma. Because we take birth only to exhaust the karmas. So when there is no karma in the account, there is no janma. That's the logic. So when we put all these things together, then we become convinced that what Shastra is saying is right. Only thing is we have to follow the Shastra to the T, which is not a very easy thing for us. So that is the whole spiritual journey is all about. Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Now it's very, very clear. Yeah.
Hari. Thank you. Any other question?
Guruji, you talked about the Dakshina, where the wife has to drop, few drops of water, thereby giving the authority, okay, go ahead and do it. Now, also when we sit down at times for puja, long this darba grass is handed over, they give it to the wife and she will be touching. What is the significance of that?
Significant is, see, as I told you, any karma that we do after marriage, it is a karma we are doing on behalf of self and also on behalf of wife, because wife cannot do the karma.
Okay.
So marriage itself, which is, these are all very, very subtle points which we have to understand. Many people ask why there is no Upanayanam ceremony for women. Isn't it? Which I think one of my classes have explained.
Yes, you have explained, yes.
The marriage itself is a Upanayanam for women. They are not physically put the thread, but they do go through the same process. The women go through the same process in the marriage, and the thread is worn by the husband.
Husband. Correct.
That is why the extra thread comes during marriage. So
Correct.
that indicates two things. One is the wife is actually giving the power of authority to the husband to perform all karmas on her behalf. That is why all the karma phalam, that is the positive karma phalam, punya and all 50% goes to the wife. Husband does some
Okay.
karma, she is not given authority to do papa karma. So if he does papa karma, for 100% is his own account. But punya karma,
Not
50%
shared.
to the wife. Papa
Papa
karma, he
means
can't share.
okay.
So that is the disadvantage for being born as a man. Anyhow.
Okay.
So when we are
How
doing
about vice versa?
karma,
If she does any punya karma,
yes,
does it husband gets a share?
50%.
Okay.
50% he will get. So that darba and then holding it and touching that is a symbolism to saying that I am with you in this karma. I am joining you, and this karma we are actually
Doing it
performing
together.
jointly.
Mm.
It is just like in the check, joint account, both people have to sign.
Correct.
So like that, it's a symbolic gesture. The wife is also present. She has to be there. She cannot be sitting somewhere and seeing some TV program or browsing her mobile and all that. She has to be present there. She cannot say, okay, you go ahead, I am with you and all. That is not possible,
I have
right?
given you the authority. Power of
I
authority
have
is
given
with
you
you.
authority. I am participating actively by taking a dharma, touching you, and then you do this karma. You do the sankalpam. Whatever sankalpam you are doing for this karma, I am also included. I am including myself in that sankalpam. And then once that is completed, sankalpam is completed, then the wife is free. Okay, now the process has started. So engine has been switched on. You don't need the switch again and again and again. So it will go on. As long as fuel is there, the engine will go on. So that is the symbolism of that wife holding the darba and touching the husband. Many times if darba and all is not there, the priest will say, touch the husband, just like that, touch his shoulder or something, so that it's again all symbolism to demonstrate that they are equally participating in that performance of karma.
Okay. Understood. Another thing, you said 18 this thing, of which we only covered 16 priests, Yajamana and his Patni.
18.
How about other
As I
samagri?
told, because the Upanishad says 18.
Okay.
Now, nobody knows what that 18 is. You can start counting, you will end up with more than 18 karakas.
Okay.
So now what Bhashyakara is very, very cleverly doing, 18 is a number which is sure. The 16 priests, the Yajama ritualist and his wife, so these are 18 is sure. So he takes that list and says that this is at least the minimum required. Without this, no karma is possible. No major karma is possible. Okay. And then, of course, we have to, as I said, we have to understand that this 18 is only a upalakshanam. It's only a sort of a sample. We have to, where so many karakas are required, so many things are required for a homam, we know that, for a yajna. So we have to understand all those things. But why Upanishad says Ashtadasha, nobody knows.
Okay.
Because when we are interpreting the Upanishad, many times we will come across such challenges. Upanishad will say something. Now, that can mean different things rather. So then that is why Bhashyam and all becomes helpful, because then they will try to narrow down the meaning of that to something which is easily understandable. And with that, we can understand other things also, expand it and then understand other things also. So that is why this Ashtadasha is mentioned in the Upanishad. Even Bhashyakara may not know whether Bhashyakara, what he is saying is correct or not. There is no way to verify. But it is not incorrect, that is sure. So we have to take, okay, Ashtadasha is saying that 18 people are involved is not incorrect. Let us take that meaning. That is how Bhashyakara's approach is.
No,
I said,
apart from the
could have easily said Aneka. Instead
Aneka,
of
correct.
specifically saying Ashtadasha, it could have said Aneka, means many, countless. But Upanishad doesn't say that, it only says Ashtadasha. So then, as a Bhashyakara, he has to interpret that word in a way that we understand. It makes sense.
Okay.
It is not
No,
incorrect.
it is a minimum requirement, no? It is a
Minimum requirement. That is how he interprets a minimum requirement. Yeah.
Correct.
That's how. Because this is no
Okay.
substitute.
Mm-hmm.
This 16 priests plus the Yajamana plus the Patni is no substitute. Other Karakas, there may be substitutes.
Okay.
Isn't it? Suppose ghee is not available. Suppose I'm just giving an example. I'm not sure whether the example is correct or not. Ghee is not available. So somewhere the Shastra says, if ghee is not available, you give havis, the boiled rice as oblation. Okay. Or there are certain yajnas where only certain types of these wooden pieces of certain trees have to be taken.
Correct.
You cannot take any tree and this thing, some certain mantras, only mango tree, that's, this thing has to be offered. Some mantras, Ashwatha tree has
They're
to
all
be.
the twigs. They're all twigs, broken into.
Yeah, twigs. So, in those cases, maybe in a place where we are doing, all that may not be available. And as I gave you the example of even a puja, for example, if you take Vinayaka Chaturthi puja. In Vinayaka Chaturthi puja, there Eka Vimshati Patra Archana is there. Eka Vimshati, this Pushpa Archana is there. Now, that Eka Vimshati Patra means 21 different types of leaves.
Oh, okay.
You will not get it at all anywhere in the world. Those days, when the Shastra was there, people used to go, they used to identify, go to the jungle and pick out all these kind of leaves. And then do the puja with those leaves. So today what happens, when those are not available, Shastra says, okay, you put Acharya in its place. Or you offer any other leaf in its place. From a Vedanta angle for us, everything is Ishvara. It doesn't matter whether I offer a mango leaf or I offer Durva leaf, it doesn't matter for me. Because in my view, everything is same. But if you are a very staunch karmi, oh no, I want only those leaves I want to be offered, you will not get anywhere. So all these things are there. But this 18 is, there is no substitute for that. These have to
That
be.
is a minimum. That is a minimum.
That's a minimum and compulsory.
Of which 16
Minimum and compulsory.
16 are priests and 2 are, of course, husband and wife.
Correct.
Okay.
So that is why Bhashyakara, keeping everything in mind, he says Ashtadasha, you understand as 16 priests and 2 Yajamana and his wife. Like that you understand. And ultimately there is one thing we have to always bear in the back of our mind. All these things from a Vedanta perspective is not important at all. Apara Vidya itself for us is just for the sake of academic knowledge we are learning what is Apara Vidya, and also for comparing that with Paravidya, understanding that Aparavidya results are fragile and they are subject to destruction, limited, finite. So up to that we have to understand, and that understanding we will finish by the end of this chapter. From the next chapter onwards, second Mundaka onwards, it will all be Paravidya, Paravidya, Paravidya only. So that is the whole structure of this book.
We are yet to take off.
We are ready to take off right now. The runway,
We are,
flight
we
is
are,
on
we
the
are,
runway, waiting for
we are
its turn from the signal from the tower, control tower.
ATC.
We are in the queue. Finally, we will get this thing when we end. When we come to the 13th sloka, Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan Brahmana, that sloka, that mantra, that will be the takeoff signal. So you have done all this, you have understood what is Aparavidya, you have understood the new little bit nuances of Aparavidya. Now the Upanishad will say, sit back and analyze what you have learned. And tell me whether you are convinced that this Aparavidya can give you moksha or not.
Or not.
If not, go to the next section. That is the way this whole Upanishad is organized.
Yeah. If you want to learn Atma Vidya, then you should know Anatma first.
First, you should know Anatma, then only Atma Anatma. Without Atma Anatma Viveka, where is Atma Jnanam? Isn't it?
Yes, yes,
Because
yes.
Atma for us is totally Anatma, we are taking it as Atma now. Isn't it? The whole Sharira Trayam is Anatma.
Yes, yes, yes.
We are considering that as Atma, myself. So first Upanishad has to make us understand, hey, you are not in the right path. You are going on the wrong road. So please come back,
Correct.
take a U-turn. Like a Google map, you have missed one turning. You keep on going. Google will suddenly say recenter. And then you turn, take a
We are
U-turn.
caught up with only Jiva and Jagat.
Yeah.
Ishvara is far away.
Jiva and Jagat. Ishvara also, we don't know what is Ishvara. Only
Yeah.
9th chapter we are understanding
True.
what is Ishvara. Ishvara is not one entity. There are different, what we can call dimensions of Ishvara. So all these things are all spiritual journey, the knowledge that we are gaining. When we say Atma Jnanam, it is not just only the self. All these are all knowledge we are gaining in the process of finally gaining Atma Jnanam. That is how the whole process is. If you have interest in this journey, it is very interesting. Otherwise, it could be very boring and very, who will sit and listen to all these things?
Knowingly or unknowingly, the transformation is taking place. Yes.
Yes. More the transformation takes place, the more you will be glued on to this. The more you will realize the truth, the reality in all these things. That's the beauty. You won't realize that. On a day-to-day basis, slowly your life is getting transformed when you constantly listen to this, constantly work on this. Well, one advantage you people have got, which I did not have during my Gurukulam days, is that the day was so packed. First of all, whatever notes that we have to take, we will take. There is no time to revise those notes also in the room. So we have to keep on going, like running from morning to evening, night. And then later on, once we have finished the course, then sit back. At that time, if you should have the inclination and also the time to do this, go through.
How do you assimilate then? Where is the time to assimilate?
Assimilate, yeah. In fact, I am assimilating, honestly speaking, even if there is one student, even if nobody attends the class, let me be very frank. I will go on to Zoom. I will switch on recording. I will actually record whatever I have learned and then leave it for posterity rather. So I am actually doing this 50% is my own selfish motive for me to progress in the spiritual path, right? And
otherwise, it will be like water on the lotus leaf.
Yeah, it will be like that.
Water drop.
Or sometimes it will all look nice, then it will slip away.
Exactly.
That is why, constantly in Nana Nani, there are so many programs that are held, Many people come and tell me we are going to have this drama, this dance program. Why don't you come? Why don't you come? I just simply tell them, I wish you all the best. I don't have time for that. In fact, to do this, I have to study. I have to study so much what Puja Swamiji has said someplace, what I learned. Luckily for me, I got the recording of all our classes in the Gurukula.
Oh,
So that recording I can listen to again and then make my notes at this point. Because in recording also everybody's style is different. Swami Sadatmananda, he was so repetitive, that some students will find it boring rather. So he will not progress fast. He will, and of course, there is a reason for that, because many students are foreign students. They have no clue about any Veda, anything. Our culture itself is new to them. So from their perspective, he used to repeat the same thing again and again and again in different words, different ways he will present them. But for us who know, who have grasped it in one take or two takes, we'll say, yeah, kya, why he is boring like this, like that. But we have to put ourselves in his shoes and understand why he is doing that. So when I listen to that again, there is a lot of, I would say, things which I have to discard. I have to just omit and come to the crux of that. And
you have to distill only what you want.
Each talk is 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine, I have to listen to that. Then Puja Swamiji talk is not there. Some excerpts are there. Some book is there. So I will have to see what Puja Swamiji has said there. Then in some lectures, Paramatanandaji's transcriptions are available. Thanks to people like Ramuji and all that. So if that is available, I will refer to that also. Because Bhashyam Paramatanandaji transcription is not available. Only Moolam is available in that website. But there also some ideas you get what the Swamiji says. So I put everything together, cook it, and present to you. Submit to you guys.
So we are so lucky.
And
So
as I
blessed.
said, for me, honestly speaking, this is my journey now. I mean, I have no other ambition in life but to continue on the spiritual journey. I have no anxiety also for moksha. Because let it continue. I am seeing the transformation. I am experiencing the transformation. Whether people around me experience it or not, I am experiencing the transformation. I'm happy about that. So chalte raho aise hi. We don't know how long we have to do it. Let it go on like this. So that is how, of course, I have not given up my karma completely. So I do my Trikara Sandhya Vandanam. That much I do. Daily morning puja, which is what I learned in the Gurukulam also, that Dakshinamurti, they do Abhishekam, but I don't do Abhishekam. Chant Rudram Chamakam, Dakshinamurti Archana I do. All that about 45 minutes puja I do in the morning. That's a routine. Wherever I go, whether I am in UK, USA, Canada, everywhere, that is my routine. I stick to that. That karma is giving me Chitta Shuddhi, more and more Chitta Shuddhi is happening. I can realize it. So if you say that, do you believe in this? Personally, I believe totally 101% in what Shastra is saying. But then it is not for me to convince you. You have to get convinced by your own experience.
True.
That is what it is.
Absolutely correct. Yes.
You can only take your hand and lead. He cannot, do things for you rather. So you have to do it yourself.
Yes.
That is how it is.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Namaskar.
Thank you,
Thank
Guruji.
you very much.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thanks a
Hari
lot.
Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Hari Om. Thank you.